Hey, welcome back to Old School Moto. This is actually a video I filmed yesterday, so I'm just recording the intro today. The KTM is pretty well stripped, as you can see in the background, and the video is just sort of running through some of the points of pulling it apart and what we found. So, you know, as you probably know from the previous video, the engine was reported as locked up, and we've found, I guess we've found what's happened, but still I haven't got into the bottom end of the engine, just in case there's something else down there that we don't know about. But as it stands at the moment, we have found why it's seized, and as you'll see by some of the clips, it unseized itself while I was pulling the starting to pull the top end off, and yeah, which is interesting. So it means that at this stage it's not as bad as we thought, and I don't want to bore you with, you know, a couple of hours of pulling it apart. So I'm just going to sort of flash through a few points and probably spend a bit more time on just when we're pulling the engine apart. Yeah, and we'll see how that looks. All right, so hold on, strap in, whatever you got to do, and let's get into it. I had to look at the seat and go, well, how the hell do you take it off? There's a bolt under here, and I'm just thinking, like, you know, when you've been out, you know, in a mud moto and you have to come back and take the seat off for whatever reason, it's just going to be covered in crap. Okay, carby off, fuel everywhere. Brilliant. Okay, so I found the water drain underneath the hose there. Ta-da! Okay, we'll get that up on the bench and we can start looking at it. So we're just going to inspect the motor, and ended up pretty close to a bare frame already. So anyway, that's how it goes. But all right, we'll get that up on the bench and we'll have a look at it. All right, we'll take the mag cover off. She's glued on. Right. Still got some oil. Okay, there's lots of like metal there. Well, that sucks fucking balls, because it is not the right thread. Fuck me. You know, I was looking for the water pump on the side of the engine like all Japanese bikes. I just thought this is some fucking fancy shit that they have, and then once I got to take the engine out, I realised, oh, hang on, that is where the hoses went in. I thought, oh, that is the water pump. So crazy as it is, there it is. Okay, so I've loosened all the tappet cover bolts and one is stuck. I'm going to try the rattle gun on it. Nope. Unbelievable. Don't really want to hit it. I need a bar. Oh. So how's that? I've got a socket that's got a hex, put that on it, put the bar on it, and just pressurized it. It's enough to just crack it. Thank goodness. Must have dowels in it. There we go. The engine is turning. What the heck? That is turning the engine. Wow. Okay, just as I thought, the cam chain, you have to break the chain, I guess, to get... Fuck me, that is just insane. Oh my god. That is loose. That is just finger tight. Okay, so right now I can see our problem. It has completely gouged out the front of the bore. So I'm going to maneuver this, and I'll try and get a camera around and show you. Okay, so I'd have to break the chain to get the cam chain off, which I probably really need a breaker for, because I'm going to have to put a new one back together. And secondly, the flywheel, I'm going to need to order another puller for it, because I have one that fits the Japanese bikes, but this obviously is different. Why? But there you fucking go, right? There it is. Anyway, but it probably won't hurt to have one sitting in the toolbox. And now I'm going to grab the camera, and I'm going to show you what I can see inside the barrel. So we've had the nut loose on the cam chain wheel, and that wasn't undone, so it was just loose. So I don't really think that was the reason, but obviously when you see in here, this is the reason why it's nipped up, I think. So until I can get the cam chain off and get the barrel off, I can't check the big end. But that's probably going to be it for this video. And yeah, look, if you like what I'm doing or interested in what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. I mean, I really appreciate it. If you look at my first video, you'll understand what I'm trying to do here, which is going to be a bit of this and a bit of riding, and possibly some other things that go along with it, but they'll all be to do with motocross. So yeah, cool. All right, so just hang in there. I'll grab the camera and show you what disaster is inside. Okay, so in the barrel here, I've just got a torch. You should be able to see those lines up the front. That's all the way through the nicker seal and into the alloy. So the board's fucked. It can be replated, but that's what I can see so far. And the engine is moving, so if I grab hold of the flywheel and hold the piston and try and roll it around, it doesn't feel like there's any movement in the big end, but until I get the barrel off and can actually get the barrel piston off and that, and just grab the rod and wiggle it around, yeah, I don't really know 100%, but my guess is that was our problem so far. Try inside the head. It actually looks all right in there. There's no pitting or denting or anything like that. Everything looks in order. But yeah, just like I said before, get the chain breaker. I'll get the right puller for the flywheel, and we'll get it apart. Have a good look. I'm going to pull the engine 100% apart anyway, because that's what I like to do, and then I can feel sure that everything's okay, everything's working, bearings, seals, that sort of stuff. I mean, the last thing you want is to put it back together and then have some rattling in the gearbox or whatever. So okay, so I have split the chain and taken it off. I just ground the chain links and pulled it apart. So, you know, just looking here, we've got, it's really solid, so quite pleased with that. I have to obviously check the side to side movement, but I imagine it's going to be a little bit worn, but it'll be fine for what we want to do. You can see the piston, and obviously the front of the piston is cactus as well, so it's really copped the flogging. And the barrel, let's get some light onto it, and you should be able to see, you can see the scouring in there. That's what's caused it to lock up. So further inspection of what we can see on the engine, it's actually, you know, it's actually looking not too bad. Obviously it's still going to come apart and be thoroughly cleaned out, because there's obviously gunge and shit in there. What's come off the front of the piston, and the barrel is all floating around in there, so we need to clean all that out. And yeah, that's it.